everyone, welcome on Gayatri's English Hub. I'm back here one more time and I hope you guys are doing great. So, today with me, I have such an amazing personality and I have been following her on Instagram for months now, not even days. She has been such an inspiration since the time I started following her. Once you really get to know about her, you will get inspiration from her as well. So her name is Himanshi ji, and she is an assistant professor. She has achieved a lot so far, and I would really love to listen all this about her from her only. She will tell us. So let's just say hi to Himanshi ji. Hello, Himanshi ji. How are you doing?
Hello, Gayatri. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good as well. Thank you so much. And thank you so
Yeah.
much for being here on Gayatri's English Hub. And thank you so much,
Pleasure is all mine.
yeah, and
Yeah,
accepting my invitation. So I'm really happy and look forward to have a good conversation with you.
certainly.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having me here.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
Himanshi ji, let's go for a small introduction of yours. Not small, I think you have done a lot, so just go for that.
Uh, you have already mentioned I'm an academician
Mhm.
and currently I'm working as an assistant professor. Also because I'm having some sort of experience from corporate industry. So I am into training and development of students as well. And I'm committed to profiling of my students, to helping them to um evolving them to be the industry ready. So I takes care of their campus recruitment, their training programs, etc. Apart from this, I taught because my area of expertise is HR and marketing. So I taught organizational behavior, performance management, corporate training programs to my students so far. And apart from my careers, I am not only limited to my academics, I'm into other things as well.
Mhm.
So we mentioned that I have a prominent presence on Instagram, on other social media as well. So I have been featured by the other platforms as well, like Hum Insan, Humans of Equality,
Mhm.
Humans of Bombay has featured me, Keto India. So these are some of the platforms who has featured me. And even after my academics, I try to utilize my time with some underprivileged students. So on daily basis, we used to meet these underprivileged kids from my area, and we used to teach them. We used to distribute foods. We have collaborated with many companies like Food for Hungry, so they people offer some foods as well. So we help these students in their upbringing, so that in future they can also contribute to the
Yeah, society.
country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
We need such people in society these days. Literally, in the world of full of practicality and pragmatic nature, I hope you understand, right? In a way that people are very much individualistic these days. They literally do not care what is happening outside. So people that
Right.
individuals like you, they step, definitely they step forward to help the society and to contribute back to the society after taking from it. It just definitely fills my heart with joy that okay, people are there to help out and just to take care. So,
Right. Right.
Himanshi ji, my channel is all about spoken English, communication, personality development. And because you come from that specific background, after
Mhm.
going through your Instagram profile, I was so, I was happy. Oh, she is the right one to invite, obviously. So let's start with that. How did you become assistant professor? We'll start with this journey because even that journey is so inspirational. I think day before yesterday I watched. I think I went through a post of yours where you look so young,
Mhm.
so innocent, and then you said that oh, this is where I have started my journey, having a cup of coffee in your hand. So
Right.
how
Right.
did it
Mhm.
all happen, and how did you make it?
Yeah, so I went through years of schooling And then I did my undergrad in BCom honors from Delhi University, and I did my master's into MBA, and I also pursued my MCom, and later on I started pursuing PhD program. So this particular profile requires, some eligibility test as well. So maybe you heard about the net examination.
Yes.
So all these eligibility criteria has to be fulfilled to become an assistant professor. So if you have seen, many of my audience always asked me how to become an assistant professor. So you have to have those eligibilities. First, you need to be graduate,
Mhm.
and then I did my masters, and then PhD is something which is very much important to be an professor. So first is your eligibility, your academic qualification, which is required. Second, I have been into research since long,
Mhm.
because research is again a very important thing. So I used to wrote many papers. I have presented it to many conferences. So research is again very important to be an assistant professor. So when I completed my education, so I certainly gradually I identified that I am good in research. I
Mhm.
can contribute which is already there. There has to be some value addition from my side into my field. So it helped me to finalize that it can be a good opportunity for me.
Mhm.
Plus, because I worked with corporate, so training was my, utmost, or what should I say? It was something which I love to deliver. So I ended up to the being an assistant professor plus into the training and development department.
Mhm.
So it is something, if you are good in research, if you have the basic educational qualifications, you can certainly be an assistant professor.
Mhm.
So this is how I made it. And third, very important, if you are good in networking, because network like a pro. If you are good in networking, you can connect with the research scholars, you can be ready to interact with your professors, you can definitely be into this. So this is how I ended up with being an assistant professor. Yeah.
Great. I mean, at times I feel that even not feel,
Uh-huh.
I do aspire to be a professor or an
Mhm.
assistant professor,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
no, I don't want to comment on something which last time
Mhm.
happened. So I was planning to, I am already doing, like I'm into my master's in English literature, and I even also
Okay.
felt like that, okay, I can be a professor of English because this is something
Mhm.
I love, right? Uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
but recently, like I was just planning to take my net, test, and I got to
Mhm.
know one news that net paper leaked and SSC paper leaked, and I'm really
Right,
sorry,
right,
I don't want to
right,
comment on all those things. And those
right.
particular articles, they broke my heart, and I just gave up on that idea. I might, take it again. I don't,
Mhm.
like, but still I aspire to be a
Mhm.
teacher or a trainer. However, recently
Right.
I have felt one thing since the time I have come here on YouTube. I think
Mhm. Mhm.
YouTube doesn't require qualifications. At times, it requires your talent, your capabilities, and ability
Right.
to connect with people. And
Mhm.
I am doing fine with this. So I somehow I'm still in two minds that should I really go for or shouldn't I go for.
Mhm.
Anyway, nice.
Mhm.
Even I asked you once, if I'm not wrong, that how to be an assistant professor, and I remember getting your reply that Gayatri, you have to do that.
Right, right,
And
right.
you are such a kind person that whosoever leaves you a message, you make sure that you reply to them. Nice.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
so one thing you mentioned, Himanshi ji, you are an assistant professor, and as you mentioned in
Mhm.
your introduction itself, that you help students to profiling their resume in a very good way and present and behavior
Right,
and everything. So today our
right.
topic is communication, right? So first of all,
Correct.
what do you think about communication and how does it complement the personality?
Yeah. So communication, as per my understanding, is a process when we are sharing, information, ideas, or probably feelings between people. So it can be in spoken or probably in writing
Mhm.
or even in non-verbal communication, like your body language or your facial expressions can be a part of communication. So communication is something which makes you, for example, if I'm very good in, marketing, I am very good in playing, I am very good in reading novels, but then I'm not able to explain it clearly to my people, then we called it as an, ineffective communication.
Mhm.
Because a kind of good communication starts where you are able to communicate it effectively to your audience.
Mhm.
So if you see that when we are working in the team, communication is something which is not only required in between two people, it is something we required when we are working in team,
Mhm.
when you are into your offices, when again it is something which is important in relationships as well. So
Definitely.
when I am into classroom, so my strategy should be effectively communicated to them, my idea should be clear. When I am working in a team, it starts with the collaborations. If my communication is effective, then only the collaborations will be happening.
Mhm.
When we talk about the relationships will build only if the communication is clear. It starts with the trust, the kind of, belief you have with each other. So communication is very important, not only into the industry or probably when two individuals are talking, but in the diversified areas.
Yeah.
It is something all about communication. Yeah.
Great. Now, when
Yes.
you help your, yeah, I totally understand that communication is key to connect
Right, right,
anyone,
right.
professional personalities or your personal personalities or your bonds, your relationships, friendships.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
so being an assistant professor or an individual who specifically helps students to improve their personality, how would you
mhm.
suggest my audience, which is specifically a spoken English audience, and plus they, at times they get very confused that
Yes,
spoken English and
right,
communication, they are one, they are not, they are totally different.
right, right.
How a person can
Okay.
improve his or her communication?
See, communication, for me, communication is not, something very important. I called it is not a skill, right?
Mhm.
It is something which gradually comes after practicing.
Mhm.
So I still remember when I started my college journey, when I first presented my presentation. So my professor told me that it's not important that you spoke like this. It's important that you deliver your idea clearly, right?
Mhm.
So communication sometimes not only about the fluency probably or your vocabulary, but it is something how beautifully, how effectively you are putting your ideas to
Mhm.
someone so that it will be clearly understandable. So I always suggest my students to, first and foremost, I remember this is something, the kind of suggestion gave I got from my father. So he asked me to start reading small articles in front of the mirror.
Mhm.
And gradually you will see that your fluency, your vocabulary, and your communication will start improving. So it is very important to give time to yourself. It comes with the patience. It's not come overnight.
Mhm.
So when you started speaking English on regular basis, gradually you will be fluent, you will start using the good vocabulary. So in my lectures of, we conduct the proper corporate training programs for our students.
Mhm.
So in corporate training programs, first priority is to make them prepare so that they can speak effectively.
Mhm.
So, to help them with this, we conduct group discussions. We give them platform for the extempores. We provide them platforms to, for the debate competitions. So, in our corporate training programs, we focuses upon not only the fluency. We provide them platform, we conduct group discussions. We have extempore competitions. We conduct debates on certain emerging topics.
Mhm.
Even yesterday only we had a group discussion with the students. So I myself identify that students really speak well, but sometimes they are lacking into the content because they are not carrying that sort of humor to speak, right? So communication is a very broad aspect, not only related to the fluency or probably with the vocab. However, it is with respect to the content, right? With respect to the reading. So I suggest my students to read a lot. Reading is something which will gradually help them to speak well. Correct. So these are some, regular activities which we conduct. Plus, we invite them or we convey them to start speaking a lot. So this is how we work. Plus, if you are aware about the new education policy, so new education policy has also started working on the knowledge level. So there are different knowledge levels wherein starting from giving them the ideas to reaching at a position where the student will himself start speaking, himself start creating the ideas. So this is how, on the basis of new pedagogies, we prepare our students. And this is how we are providing them the platform onto which they can work upon, right? So these are the things we are doing.
And that's really great. But
Yeah.
I think that the only thing which a lot of Indians, specifically, I feel
Right.
they lack that communication, specifically the English language. They do not have that exposure
Right. Right.
to, that exposure
Right.
where they can talk, where they can meet people, they can express themselves, and there is no one who can let them know that what they should do.
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
then I have a next question, Himanshi ji. You are in
Mhm.
corporate training. Generally, I
Yes.
personally feel that there are differences. The way people from corporate they talk and the people, they talk normal or casual people. So there is a huge difference they have. But as a
Right.
person, you have, I think, witnessed both the worlds. You are in corporate
Right.
now, and however, you also have friends, people around you who normally casually talk. So what's the
Right.
differences you generally find between business communication and casual communication, and how should a person
Mhm.
focus on these things?
Mhm.
How a person can be mindful at
Right.
times that he or she sounds a bit professional and nice at times
Mhm.
talking.
Right. See, the normal communication is casual or relaxed or often spontaneous, right?
Mhm.
So, like chatting with your friends and family comes into the normal communication. It's more about the personal connections you are trying to build with someone. You might or you can joke, be informal, and even you can use slangs, right?
Mhm.
This comes into the normal communication. For example, if you are bump into a friend and you just say, "Hi, Alex, let's catch up for coffee. How are you doing?" That's it, right? So it sounds little, comfortable. You are into your zone wherein you tries to be yourself. Correct? That is the normal communication. When we come to the business communication, on the other hand, it is more structured, more purposeful, and more professional. Correct? So business communication cannot be informal, it cannot be casual.
Mhm.
Business communication, let's take an example. If I have to email to my colleague,
Mhm.
so how I'm writing it? I'm writing it, "Hi Alex, how are you doing? Can you give me an update on yesterday's meeting?
Mhm.
Please let me know if you need any assistance from my end. Thanks and regards, Himanshi."
Yeah.
So you can see there is a huge difference in the kind of normal communication I had and the kind of formal communication I had with Alex, right? So there is a huge difference in normal and business communication. Now the purpose for both communication is different.
Yeah.
You need your clear purpose when you are making the business communication, right? You cannot be casual with your client. However, in your normal communication, when you are interacting with your friend, you can be normal.
Yeah.
You always try to be yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be someone, who is putting difficult vocabulary, who is trying to putting something else to be very formal. So I never do that. So there is a huge difference. We need to understand the clarity and the impact is different in both the aspects. The mindfulness of professionalism is more in business communication and it is less in your
Normal communication.
normal communication, right? So there has to be some usually a clear purpose. We as humans always try to be real.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be real, but it always not considerable in the corporate industry.
Mm-hmm.
We always try to be more formal.
Yeah.
We are professionals there, so we have to behave like that. So this is the difference which is there.
I
Yeah.
think we must get into that. I
Mhm.
think there is a very famous saying in India.
Right.
It's like "Jaisa desh,
Uh,
वैसा देश." So when
very
you
true.
are right, when you are in corporate and they have some ethics,
Uh-huh.
some boundaries where you have to follow them, so you must follow them.
Right.
A lot of
Uh-huh.
learners they come to me that, ma'am,
Right.
I every day get feedbacks from my seniors that
Mhm.
like you have to work on your professionalism. Whenever you talk,
Mhm.
it sounds very blunt.
Mhm.
You cannot do that. A lot of things are
Mhm.
there, and they get distressed with it. And I think
Right.
formal communication is like choosing the right sets of words. Like how
Very
you
true.
say things, right? You say that, can you just help me, or could you please help me, makes a huge difference when you convey this to
Right.
the person. So it's
Right.
like
Right.
all about choosing the right word. I have a
Right.
following up question with the same question, Himanshi ji. Now we have
Mhm.
artificial intelligence in the industry, which has disrupted everything. And the
Mhm.
major issue which I have really found is like people struggle with verbal communication in professionalism, because for email they have
Mhm.
chat gpt, they have meta ai,
Mhm.
they have a lot of different artificial tools. They will just type the prompt and then they will get the very professional email, right? And
Mhm.
because they are not using their creativity while writing and doing these tasks, they lose the
Mhm.
that credibility, producing good ideas, because now their brain is damaged and it is very limited, right? I believe
Mhm.
if you can, creatively write an email, or you can do
Mhm.
it, you can form an email, you can creatively speak, because whatever you write on an email, everything is there on your brain. But now when
Right.
for
Right.
email you get from chat gpt, you struggle with your
True.
formal language. So how do you take it? I mean, it should be the part of your corporate as well.
Yes, certainly. See, in research, we have, plagiarism checkers.
Okay.
So, whatever will be the copyrights, it will quickly, that software will identify.
Okay.
So still I have seen in my college only, because the students are, need to prepare their summer internship reports. Even maybe you also prepare. So whatever they are doing into the industry, it has to be in the report format. So nowadays, what actually happening? The students are using ChatGPT. They are creating all their assignments
Yeah.
using these, platforms. They are preparing their reports using these platforms. However, to protect the interest of the right kind of communication and the right uh, to avoid all these plagiarisms,
Mhm.
we introduced all these softwares wherein we checked the plags. If in case the student is copying the data from the ChatGPT or from the XYZ platform, it quickly identifies and it shares the percentage of the copied data there. So we as teachers trying to protect the interest of the education.
Mhm.
Then what is the point if in case the student is copying everything from
Mhm.
ChatGPT? Then they certainly not be able to grow up, right?
Mm-hmm.
they will start depending upon the chat gpt. Even I have seen uh, in my connections itself that people are utilizing using these platforms to creating their their taglines
Yeah.
or their captioning,
Mm-hmm.
or if in case they want to send some beautiful message to their friends or relatives, they are using these
Yeah.
platforms.
Yeah.
So for me, if I am not using my own talent, somewhere I'm hiding my sentiments.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Somewhere I am hiding my own talent. My own skill is hiding. Correct? So, ChatGPT is something which is actually taken up all these student talent somewhere. To protect all these things, we as academicians started different kind of innovative practices,
Mm-hmm.
like launching of these softwares, identifying whether is there any copyrights or any infringements. So we identify all these things to help students, to make them realize that real things are always real, it cannot be fabricated.
Definitely.
Correct? So all these things has been happened, and we actually working on this gradually. Academicians are someone who cannot keep their knowledge with themselves. We always try to put something new.
Right.
So we are trying to create an awareness, or probably we are trying to introduce something wherein the students can start working upon their own real self. Like a new podcast system has been created in the institutes. We have introduced, one-to-one interactions,
Mm-hmm.
wherein to avoid all these things, we started coming on to the speaking activities so
Mm-hmm.
that student will not copy something, they just start with their real selves. Yeah.
That is so nice. I think a lot of education institute, they must do it, because
Yes.
this is what I have personally felt, that these
Yeah.
artificial intelligence, they have been snatching the creativity of people and then their talent. They can give you a nice message, but they cannot give you emotions behind that. Even the
Very true.
creators
Very
of
true.
artificial intelligence, they have multiple time, they have said on big stages that it's really harmful, really harmful. Anyway, I think it is like humans, and especially
Mhm.
we get excited to use things and we do that. We
Right,
have
right, right.
Himanshi ji, 2 minutes I had, we have, I wish we had more time, but we don't. Let's go
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
small message from your side to my audience for communication.
Certainly. If there's one thing I would love you and your audience to take away from this is communication is power, right? So whether you are a student, you are a professional, you are an industry expert, or you are trying to grow, you should express yourself, which shapes how the world sees you, right?
Mhm.
It helps you to understand people you better. So don't afraid to speak up, ask questions, and share your ideas and keep learning, right? So do not underestimate the power of your voice.
Mhm.
Progress starts with one conversation at a time,
Mhm.
right? So keep learning, keep innovating, and start practicing. That's really important. That's from my side.
Thank you so much. And I will definitely take it away from here, because I personally feel I love talking to people. I love connecting with them emotionally and mentally. And this is something which has been intriguing me for a very good time.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the key
Mm-hmm.
aways from, key
Mm-hmm.
takeaways from this video conversation is communication is power. And I will put it as my thumbnail tagline. But thank you so much, Himanshi ji. I wish you all the very best. And I look forward to have you again maybe some other time as we decide.
Certainly.
Yeah,
Certainly.
all the
Yeah.
very best.
Thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be here, and I am indeed happy to be part of your podcast. And certainly, I wish you all the success in your future endeavors.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you. Have a good time.
Thank you. Thank you, Gayatri. Good day. Bye.